The National Assembly's extraordinary session for April ended on Tuesday after a rare burst of bipartisan lawmaking despite weeks of intense political confrontation. And tension is quickly shifting to a constitutional reform vote next month and the fast approaching June 3rd local elections. For more on what got achieved in April and what could dominate politics in May, we're joined by our political correspondent Moon Hae-ryun. Welcome, Hae-ryun.
It's good to be here, Sujin.
Hae-ryun, so despite the political gridlock, lawmakers were able to see tangible results in April. So what stands out the most?
Yes, that's right. So even in a highly polarized environment leading up to the June local elections, the National Assembly did manage to pass measures with immediate real-world impact. The biggest was a supplementary budget worth 26.2 trillion won, designed to cushion households and businesses from the economic shock of high inflation and elevated energy prices linked to Middle East instability. The package includes direct relief payments for lower-income households, with the first round of applications and payouts already underway. The package also includes support for fuel costs, public transportation discounts through the K-Pass program, and supply chain stabilization measures for key industrial materials like naphtha.
Well, that does sound quite promising. And now that the April session is over, what's next for the upcoming May extraordinary session?
So attention is rapidly shifting to a major constitutional reform vote in early May, potentially one of the most significant in nearly 4 decades. The proposed amendment would be the first revision to South Korea's constitution since 1987. It includes symbolic and substantive changes, formally recognizing the democratic legacy of the May 18th Gwangju democratization movement, strengthening assembly control over martial law declarations, and adding the state's responsibility for balanced regional development. Speaker Wu says the package reflects a broad public consensus and has urged main opposition People Power Party lawmakers to be allowed a free vote rather than being bound by party opposition.
This reform would open the door to revising an outdated constitution and moving the country forward. If it fails now, the next chance may not come for some time. Please make every effort to ensure it reaches a plenary vote.
And that matters because passage requires a 2/3 majority of the 295-seat assembly, meaning at least 197 votes. Reform supporters currently have 187 signatories, so they would need defections or cross-party support from the Conservatives. The PPP, however, has raised suspicions that broader reform efforts could eventually be used to reopen debate over presidential term limits, although supporters note that the current constitution explicitly bars any extension of the sitting president's term through amendments.
And looking beyond Parliament, I want to just touch on the local elections since they're just a couple weeks away. So how are the parties looking?
So both parties are currently in the final candidate selection process leading up to the official campaigning period, but they're doing so from very different positions. The ruling Democratic Party has finalized its nominations across all metropolitan and provincial contests, while the People Power Party has yet to settle on a candidate for the Gyeonggi-do province governor. With its slate in place, the DP has shifted focus to campaigning, centering its message on budget relief measures and regional development promises, hoping to frame the local races as a referendum on the new administration's momentum and delivery. The party believes it now has a genuine opening even in several traditionally conservative regions. The People Power Party, meanwhile, is contending with internal turbulence. Its leader faces mounting criticism from within the party over both its leadership and campaign strategy, leaving questions about how unified a front the PPP can present as election day approaches. Several races in cities such as Busan and Daegu are expected to test whether long-standing regional voting patterns are beginning to shift. So while April was about passing legislation, May and early June now look set to be about political survival, constitutional reform, and control of local power.
So it looks like it will be a crucial few weeks ahead. So thank you so much for coming in today, Hae-ryun.
Thank you for having me.